Hi everybody, my name's Sam.
And my name's Ben.
And we're
the Book Fair
Boys. Great. Do you think we got it?
It's wonderful, I'm sure.
Probably not.
I really hope that we find a way to use it. It's phenomenal. Eating a Snickers. This episode brought to you by Snickers.
Who, if you were in like a Snickers commercial, right, and let's say Nora was like, Ben, you're not being yourself, like, you're hungry, eat a Snickers. Who would play Hungry Ben?
Who would play Hungry Ben?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to imagine that it would be like Chris Pratt, but more realistically, we're probably looking at like, you remember that actor who voiced Iago in the original Aladdin?
Was that wasn't Kenneth Branagh, was it?
Iago, the parrot?
He played Iago in the he was
Kenneth Branagh? Oh my god.
Kenneth Branagh played Iago in the Lawrence Fishburne production of Othello. Totally different Iago. I don't know. Just when I think Iago, I think Kenneth Branagh. I think Gilderoy Lockhart.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah,
oh God.
I think that's probably who my bad self would be, is Gilbert Godfrey. But
I would go for that. That makes sense. I see it.
What about you?
Gosh, I don't know. Maybe like an angry Liam Neeson. Or like a Danny DeVito. Probably a Danny DeVito. Would be my...
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito. Or Penguin.
Oh, Penguin. Yeah, Penguin Danny DeVito. Although, my favorite Danny DeVito line is from Matilda when he's like, I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm smart, you're dumb. Or whatever he says. Like,
I feel like that's every Danny DeVito character, though.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Or the one that you sent me just the other day where he's like, I want to be pure.
I want to be pure.
Crawling out of the couch. Oh, my God. That was really when Always Sunny started to just say fuck it, like to really go for it.
They did go all out. I mean, so they always had some level of that, but like it would peak in episode to episode, and then at that point they were like, you know what? Let's be Looney Tunes, man. Let's just do it.
As soon as they got Fat Mac, that was like Fat Mac was the best. And he had the like trash bag full of chimichangas or whatever it was. Like it was so good. Well, hey, last thing that I wanted to say as far as like writer news goes before we dive in, I got my proof copy, which I know I posted about. It turned out really well, man. It looks really pretty. I'm really excited about it. Off the 2 copies that have shipped already, I made like $9. So,
oh wait, you actually had 2 people purchase it already?
Yeah, I've had. So you can pre-order the Kindle, but then the paperback was just live for purchase.
Oh,
already.
I didn't realize that. I was waiting for the proof copy to be done so I could order the paperback.
You know what? I really appreciate that because even copies have already been shipped, and I did find some more typos. So the longer you delay, the fewer typos you'll have.
No. I should go and get it now because then I can have one of those versions that's the one of 4 where it had this typo in it.
Yeah. It's so low stakes because the only people buying it are people I know. So I on the one hand, I don't want to look like a dumbass, but then on the other hand, the only people buying it are people who don't think I'm a dumbass to begin with. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. But it was like, I worked with my 10th grade English teacher in college a little bit when I was doing some like student teaching stuff.
Okay.
And so she was really great, and so we're like friends on Facebook now, and she's awesome, and she commented on my status, and she was like, I can't wait to buy a copy. And I was like, oh, you can, because I spelled some really simple words wrong, and I don't want to look like a dummy. My high school was big. It was pretty insular, so it was big on, like, a lot of the teachers who were there had been students there, so it was a very strong sense of community. And when I was student teaching there, I was like, oh, I could, the next step is to become a sub, and then you, like, work your way up through subbing to get, like long-term replacements if someone goes on maternity leave or whatever, and then you sort of work your way up through that to just becoming a teacher, and then you get to spend your whole life at this school. And there were a lot of people who did that, and it like worked very well for them. But as a 22-year-old, I was like, shoot me in the goddamn eye. And so and so part of this book is actually about that time when I was like, I can't do this, I'm gonna die here. And so when my old teachers were like, we're excited to read it, I was like, yeah, cool. I mean, we all made life choices and we're all happy with them. And you know, but it's funny because now I'm like, well, now that I've had this like 2-year adventure into the city and I feel confident that I could like actually make it on my own or whatever the fuck, like, now I would happily move back to Poughkeepsie and like sub if that's what I'm gonna do next year, you know, now that I'm not like going to grad school or whatever. But what I'm wanting to do now is start up a little blog that I want to not be this sort of like vaguely narcissistic, like, here's my blog, but like instead something that I've been thinking about horror movies, and then have it be sort of a forum. So like, do you see other elements in this narrative that I like didn't touch on, or do you see this narrative in other pieces that I didn't touch on? Like, what are your thoughts on this? So have it be more of a conversation than like
no, you'll save the vaguely narcissistic for this, right?
Yeah, for my PhD thesis. Oh, you mean this podcast?
Oh, we're third tier.
Oh man. Yeah, so anywho, that's me. Should we dive in?
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
So, do you want to talk about the adaptation then, or go into some of your reactions and thoughts? What do you want to talk about? You're giving me a thumbs up.
Oh, good. Good. We had our black pause there for a second. I gotta go pee, so I want to pee.
Did you pause?
No. We're gonna stay on because we're still
stay on, but we're gonna pee. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go pee, and maybe we'll leave this in. Actually, I've been giving Sam a thumbs up because I've had to pee, and if we leave this in, now everybody knows our secret signals.
So what it seemed like to me is that I asked Ben a question that was not a yes or no, and he was saying yes, and I was like, I don't know what that.
We got to come up with a better visual language in Zoom.
What if I give you do you remember that part in the Matrix where he's like,
how about I give you the finger?
He's like, how about I give you the finger?
And it's a very, my favorite part about that is that there's like, how about I give you a finger? And then it switches shots. So there's like I give you the finger reaction shot. And then it like cuts to Mr. Smith's face, and he does like little like face, and then he goes, and you give me my phone call, and he's not giving the finger anymore. And I wonder if they did that because they were thinking this would be a PG-13 movie, and they might have to remove the finger reaction shot at some point.
And then they were like, well, we did all that shit with the shrimp that we tear out of his stomach,
so it's already R. So we'll just do the finger thing.
We'll just do the finger. I am very excited for what I've been calling Day 4, which is when John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 come out on the same day.
Oh my god. The Morpheus Chronicles, they're saying?
The Forpheus Chronicles.
The Forpheus Chronicles. Okay, we got to find a way to...
We got to get out of here. Yeah.
I got to go pee. I'll be back.
Okay, bye.
Wow, that sounds like a really good deal. But I think I got a better one. How about I give you the finger, and you give me my phone call?
Where did we leave off? So we'd finished the plot.
Yeah, so we've now talked about the plot of this book. What do you want to talk about next?
Back from the bathroom break.
Oh, Mr. Anderson. You disappoint me.
There's all the weird chicken comparisons with, like, the father.
Yeah.
Like, as a weird subplot, there's, like, the sense of him being, resenting her because she somehow, like, knew his dad as a kid. That's kind of, like, a weird overhanging subplot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, like, get into your list of things, but...
No, that's... Please continue.
It's just, I was just saying, that's another weird, like, subplot that's just hanging over this whole piece where it's, like, Aunt Catherine thought your dad was funny and thought that he was always getting it in with the ladies too. And also there's like, there's a weird quasi-sexualization of like her to him in terms of like him being a 12-year-old, this maybe being a quasi coming out narrative, or not coming out, but like self-discovery. Like the first thing she asked is like, she spends a lot of plot point in the first bit, like talking about he likes the girls, doesn't he? Yeah, this kid likes the girls. I
Yeah.
can tell this kid likes the girls,
Yeah.
just like his dad did. He really likes the girls. Like she says it like 12 times, and
Right.
he's like really put back by it. But yeah, anyways, and then she like talks about that in terms of what his dad used to do. Chicken used to bring home the girls. Like, and he's like,
Yeah,
can
right.
we
So
get away
is
from this chicken? Like,
so is there a read there that like your expected, I don't know, like heteronormativity, like you've got a blob that contains your ability to fly free, of the bird, and then your like masculine, hyper, boyish counterparts, the bully twins, and it's coming for you, and you can only escape by running away with your like friend.
maybe I don't know, man.
I know my rights. I want my phone call.
I was about halfway through this book when I was like, oh, what was that Goosebumps book where there was a blob that was coming and the kids could only stop it by, the one kid had a superpower where she could burp. And so her burp made the protagonist throw up
What?
because it was so stinky. And so then they stopped the blob by throwing up on it, and she kept making him throw up. And so I was like,
Oh, I'm telling
that
you,
can't possibly be
this
right.
guy,
It
this
can't,
guy has some
like-
major disgust issues. This is like,
Okay, so get this. I was like, that can't, I must be misremembering that because there's no way that's a Goosebumps book. And so I looked it up, and it's not. What it is a Gooflumps book.
womp 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 womp.
There were two Gooflumps books released in 1995 called Say Cheese and Barf and Stay Out of the Bathroom. And I don't know if I ever read what.
We're gonna have to read the Gooflumps books now, right?
We got it, yeah. They are out of print, but you can get them on Amazon. They're written by a man named R.U. Slime.
Oh my God, which has got to be. I mean, R.L. Stein has, as we've demonstrated at this point, he's a man who operates under many names.
It's actually a guy named Tom Hughes.
Oh, well, you've already done the research. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it took me about 30 seconds of Wikipediaing. I'm sorry.
I'm looking up R.U. Slime right now.
And there's only two Gooflumps books. It's just those two. But anyway, Evan also has a moment when he says a lot of the girls back home didn't appreciate his sense of humor. They thought he was silly. And so
Tell me, Mr. Anderson, what good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?